All right, good morning. Let me make sure I got the mic going. Yeah, we're good. Well, good morning. It's Monday. We made it through the weekend. 11 minutes before the open, it's 8:19 a.m. Central Time. I'm gonna be, as you can see, starting soon. So I've got levels marked, but I'm just gonna go grab some tea and a little protein shake real quick, and we'll get going after that. So yeah, hang tight. Hope you had a good weekend. Hope you're doing well this morning, and I will be right back. All right, good morning. Hope everyone's doing well. We got 2 minutes before the open here. I'm gonna get rid of this guy because we are starting right about now. Monday morning, we're gonna let the market set up, give it time, let it show us what it wants to do. Here's our 15-minute chart on the left, minute chart on the right. Let's look at our 5-minute real quick, give us some context. This is Friday, hanging out, big push higher. This came on news right here, and big impetuous move like that. It's not surprising that it just stayed up here and then just kind of drifted higher and higher and higher as the bulls just kind of bought into it, took it higher on up. It looks like, let's see, it looks like we're going to be gapping higher, so we'll be opening around 30 more than likely. Gray shaded area is the overnight session on the 15-minute chart. And let me just pull up the daily real quick, give us a 30,000 foot view here. It's important to know just context, where we're at, what we're doing, why we're doing it. So Thursday was looking for the gap fill, meaning this space right in here. We didn't get it Thursday. We tested lower, opened, or ended up strong on the day relative to where we were. And then Friday was, in fact, the gap fill day. Have another gap right up here. And we'll be opening, looks like probably in the upper third range between the red and the green bar, red and the green dotted lines there. So there's no big news out today. We got a little something coming at 9, but it doesn't really, it shouldn't have potential to just be a huge earth-shattering announcement economically. All right, so let's get into it. Let's see what happens here. Remember, gaps always have the potential for more movement, more action. They don't have to. I mean, we could hang out here and put in a doji today and just settle in and not have a lot of action, but gaps have the potential to give us a little bit more volatility. Although, even saying that, as I'm saying it, I'm thinking, there's days where it's not a gap and you can still get a ton of volatility. So it works. Gaps can be super volatile, and that statement is true. It's 100% of the time, 50% of the time. Like many other things in trading. I will go ahead and be sure to annotate our first minute of trade with 2 orange lines. We just call this the opening range. So we're going to mark right here. Oops, got my text note on. Let's switch this over to here. So I'm going to mark it here and roughly here. There we go. Pretty big move here on the 1 minute bar. This is a 10-point move in a minute. Well, this price action looks like the people who got long 4, 5, 6, 7 days ago, like they're pleased with this level, selling off, taking some profit. Hey, what's up, James P? What's up? All right, happy Monday morning to everybody. So again, we will keep in mind that today's a Monday. We're going to let the market set up, kind of try to get a feel for the tempo, what the market's doing it, if it's doing a good job doing it. We're like, what is it trying to do, and is it doing a good job? So our gap is filled. coming down to that 17, 18 level. Again, here's our 15-minute from Friday. Just rocketed up and then just held the whole rest of the day. Friday, I didn't take a single trade. There was just nothing that got me that excited. Thought about trying to get long around the high 70s, but didn't see a whole bunch of opportunity there, which, in fact, I mean, there was some opportunity. I know Micah had a nice short around like 88 on Friday. I would assume he probably held it down to 80, so probably took 8 or 10 points on it, which is nice. James P. had a great weekend. Had our friends in from, they spent half the year in Plano, Texas, and the other half in Calcutta, India. They're from India. It was nice to have them in. Had a whole bunch of other people in too, so it was good. Thanks. Thanks for asking. All right, it's a pretty big down bar here on the 15-minute. Here's 15-minute. This is like overnight levels. Now Friday was a gap day as well. So Friday, where we closed versus where we opened, there's a gap there. Here, I don't want to muddy up the screen too much, but so Friday we filled this gap from back here. We left a gap over here. We got one here as well. And as I mentioned before on Friday, I am striving toward taking less trades but taking more quality trades. And every day's got different opportunity. You know, there's some days that I'm quite active where I'll bang out 4 or 5 trades in the first hour and a half, or even 2. And then Friday, as an example, I didn't take anything. If I take a trade, I want to have some conviction about it. And really like the levels that I'm choosing. It's a pretty big sell-off so far. 32 started at, almost got up to 32. We're down here around 08. I don't do too much drawing on the screen, but every now and then I'll put some lines in and just see if they tell a story, knowing that there's people who trade a lot off of trend lines. So I'd like to know where they're doing business too. Might be that it matches up with something that I'm seeing. Right, so we sold them off pretty good there, didn't we? Sold off pretty hard right on the open. overnight low is just here at the red dotted line. All right, so a little pullback there. It seems like we could resume trend to the downside. Just trying to get a picture for what the market is trying to do. Trying to get a picture of how it's developing. Just going to be patient and hang tight. There's been a lot of movement. Don't let the movement suck in. You know, there's times where the market's just moving very quickly, very violently, and you think, man, there's a 30-point move, there's a 10-point move, there's this move and that move, all within this, short amount of time. If I were involved, I could have made so much. You'll have your chance, and maybe maybe you're the type of person who's taken 2-3 trades today already. If you have, that's great. You know your process. Maybe you haven't taken a trade yet. That's okay too. We're 13 minutes into the day, and it's a Monday, and we're gapping higher, or we gapped higher. Now we're filling the gap. So let's see what the market wants to do. It'll give us some clues. Pretty big engulfing bar to the downside here on the 15-minute. And that's 12 level was nice, where suppose you could have been, would have been around this level, like 18, 20. from 39.18 to 39.20 if we were shorting here. So looks like a nice continuation of the move, right? Like strong thrust lower, take a break, hang out, pushing lower now. Seems like it's gonna get this overnight low. All right, let's see if we get to another 4 points lower to 38.96. Feels quite likely that we do. We've got the overnight low there and some kind of a trend line like from the 5 minutes. So I would think we could get some kind of a bounce off of that level. So here we're looking at that. Here's the 5 minute chart. Here's the 15 with the overnight. So got that low here. We've got this kind of congestion area all below it at this point. So I wouldn't be surprised if we at least pause here. And then if we pause, maybe we push up higher, or maybe we break it, go down lower, test lower, probe lower into here. We'll have to see. If you're a scalper, I feel like that's a scalp you could certainly take. Getting long at 96, looking for 2-3 points potentially. A little funky up here, for sure, in this area. Kind of wonky. Close. All right. There's 96. 38.96. Let's see if it holds or if it just blows right through it. Remember, 80 was an important level on Friday. As we're getting a little bit of a pop off on 96. Looks like we're not right at 3,900. We've got still another 3 minutes until we put in a new 5-minute bar. Oh, and we do have the pending home sales coming out in 8 minutes. So it's good to be mindful of that. Not that it's supposed to be like a big market mover or any earth-shattering news, but there is some economic data coming out. All right, so that overnight low is getting bought by the bulls. Kind of defending that area so far. 38.96, red dotted line. That's the overnight low that we put in Sunday. Looks like around 7 p.m. when the futures opened. You might say, well, Jeff, why didn't you get long there? Go back a few bars and it looked kind of weak. Pushed through it pretty good. It's a Monday. We're 25 minutes into the trading day. Still trying to figure out a tempo, right? Like the cadence of the market. What could the tempo be today? So we've got time. There's economic news coming out in 6 minutes. So I suppose if you were trying to get long at 38.96 at that overnight low, you would have been wrong. Maybe if it got below, say like 88, I guess. But I didn't have a great spot where I figured I'd be wrong on that. But as I mentioned, a lot of congestion here, a lot of business was done. We had that trend line that we drew through here, kind of coincided with that, and the overnight low. So getting a pretty good pop on it. Five-minute bar too. Let's look at the 5 minute and 15. So 5 minute, this bar's red, hard, really red. Paused here, continued. The trend, that move stopped right here with this candle. We're putting in a new candle right now. So at this point, I'm considering if we get a retracement, like a move back, a push back down below, I'll probably consider getting long if we retrace a bit. So it could be kind of riding on the coattails from the strength Friday. Friday bulls just bought it, pushed it up, and we'll wait and see if they continue to hold it. We got 2 more minutes until we've got pending home sales. Not a big market mover, but worth being mindful of. Kind of no man's land right here. I don't have too strong a conviction one way or the other, long or short. Monday, almost a half hour into the trading day. Trying to get a feel for the cadence, the tempo, who's in control, the bulls, the bears, how far they want to take it. So here's our opening range. Here's our overnight low, red dotted line, green dotted line, that's our overnight high. Opened up here, just a little bit above like the halfway mark, the open. These are 15-minute bars, so we spent a lot of time just holding this area on Friday. Bulls kept it propped up. I'm just going to do a little draw in here. Going to Bob Ross this chart. Not a big fib trader, but I like to know at least where some retracements are, and it's usually halfback that I'm looking at. Let's get rid of this. All right, so here we are. Question is this a retrace? Do we come down, test it, hold it, and then push back up? Or do we fail and get weak here? We've got our news coming out in 10 seconds. Let's see what the market wants to do. Looks like we want to hold it. Just a little bit of movement on the market, on the economic data that just came out. Nothing crazy, nothing like a Wednesday afternoon when the Fed's talking where you get a 30-point rip in a few seconds. Let's see where this bar ends. So still don't have much. So bulls tried to push it up, but they really couldn't get much higher. Seems like some sellers are stepping in around like 06. I still don't have real strong conviction one way or the other. I'm surprised though. I'm surprised that the bulls didn't take it a little bit higher, which leads me to think that maybe we probe lower here. But again, it just might be a little bit too early to tell. So watching the market, I'll kind of relate it to something like watching a sketch artist draw. And right now I'm at the point where I'm still, scratching my head a little bit. Not that I'm like dumbfounded or confounded about, I don't know why it's doing what it's doing. I just don't have a strong thesis one way or the other right now for a trade that I want to take, what I want to get involved with. So if I were to walk up to an artist and he's drawing stuff and there's random lines all over the place that I see, there's probably going to be a point in time where I look at it and it just doesn't make sense to me. Like I can't see what that person is drawing. But then as time goes on, maybe it's 5 minutes, maybe it's a half hour, maybe it's hours. At some point, more than likely, I'll be able to look at that drawing and say, oh, it's a picture of a boat on Lake Michigan. Or it's the Daytona 500, some cars, cruising on by. Or it's Niagara Falls in Canada. Or it's Victoria Falls in Africa. Oh, there's some people there in the background. So as time goes on, I'd be able to have a better idea of what that sketch artist is trying to convey, what he's trying to draw with his drawing. And I think about the market in a similar fashion a lot of times where uh, I'm just watching it to see the data that it's giving me, the market generated information, and from there, doing my best to make an assessment of what it's doing, if it's doing a good job, and then where I'd like to get involved. All right, so that was our pullback, wasn't it? Coming down, up, held that level, and then we're pushing higher now. See if they try to test up here, if we put in new highs or what we do. Pretty big 5-minute bar. Pretty big indeed. So here's our 5-minute bar on the right. We'll see how they treat it at this 18 to 20 level, 39.18 to 39.20. See what they try to do here. Oops. Let's see where the pullback comes to here. Looking at my 5-minute chart, trying to get some a good level for where I might like to get involved to the long side. Yeah, I'm so sorry guys that the video isn't acting appropriately. As I've mentioned, I've been waiting on fiber optic, and it just seems to be moving really slow. So I'm sorry about that. It's frustrating for sure. Sounds good, Gold Fever. So this 15-minute bar is interesting. We came down here, held that support, came up, got sold off around 16, Now we're coming back in. We've still got another like 5 minutes until this bar is completed. So it's seeming pretty weak here. I'm looking for a little bit of a pop up to try to get short. So looking for price to come a little bit higher and then looking to enter a short position. We've got another 2.5 minutes before our 15-minute bar over here closes. Mindful though that we could, I'm not getting short right here, as we could come up and show some strength, but I want to see what we do if we come another 6-7 points higher, as I'm thinking I probably would like to get involved to the short side. I might try to leg into this and sell some here and then sell some more if we do get a pop up. It's looking a little weak to me. I'll give it a minute. Not too much longer though. I'm going to sell some right here. I would look to get involved and sell more if we come up a bit higher. I'm in 30% of what I'll allow myself to trade, so not in too big of an amount. Looking for it to break. So at this point, it's either we hang out here, break lower, take this out, and get down into the maybe high 80s. Or potentially I'm thinking, so I still like it short, I'm biased to the short side now. Potentially we come up here a little bit higher and then fail. And so I'll watch and see what the market does up here. If we get up here, and then where I'd like to be involved at another price coming down to the short side. That's what I'm seeing. Haven't added any more just yet. Just trying to be patient. Hang in there, hang tight, not get too excited. Looking for some battle zones here. So that could have been it. So I'm going to definitely put a line right here, as I think that area holds some importance. Just based on the moves that we've had, up and down, up and down. I'm going to sell a little bit more right here. So I'm in 40% of what I'll allow myself to trade. Target on this is, let's see. Target's going to be below this level. I might scale out a little bit right here at the low of the day, around 94. And here's our 15-minute. So I'm short. Average price is, what is it right here? 33. Average price is right at 03. Want to see it stay below this level now, this like 39.10. In fact, I feel at this point like that would be a pretty good stop. I don't have a hard stop in up here just yet. Gonna watch it at 08 to 10 again and see what kind of reaction we get off of that level. This market looking kind of strong here. I'm going to sell just a little bit more up here. So I'm in 50% of what I'll allow myself to get into, position-wise, size-wise. Kind of watching this zone now between 12 and 8. For weakness, I still want to see it hold below 8. Keeping in mind that, with every trade that you could be wrong. It's all dealing in probabilities. So just trying to get a feel for what the market's trying to do and if it's doing a good job. I'm going to sell a little bit more right here as well. So let's look at the 5-minute now. So ideally, in my mind, for this short to work out well, this 5-minute wick stays intact. That was all it gave us, and then we go ahead and continue to the downside, which looks like we're getting some of that right now. So this is kind of the price action I was expecting and hoping for. Want to see it push lower, want to see this 5-minute bar close weak, and once it does, if it gets down to here, I might be looking to get out of a little bit and then move my stop up to this level right here. So another 20 seconds until this 5-minute bar closes. I feel like if you are getting short, you could sell some and you'd be wrong. Either this level or certainly this level. You'd be wrong if it took you above that level. All right, let's see if we get any kind of continuation here. Looking to scale some out down here. It's been a little bit I don't know about volatile, but it's been a little whippy, you know, back and forth here and there. So let's see if we can push down to this overnight low level. I'm going to take some off there, take some off the table. Take some off the table. 95. There we go, getting close. So I've got just a little order in right here to get out of 2/3 of it. I am moving my stop now to this node up here. All right, well, bulls aren't giving it up just yet. They're trying to hang in there. All right, seems like my first target's gonna get hit here. I'll be out of 2/3 of my position. Debating whether I should get out of half of it. I may do that. Would like to see a little bit of a push lower. Here we go. This could be it right here. Perhaps I'm too choosy there with that level. Still got another 2 minutes on the 5-minute bar. Let's see if they drive it down right here. Getting close. Tempted to scaling out of a little bit. Gonna be watching this 08. Certainly this one here. So my stop right now is just right here. Didn't get the weakness I was hoping for on that 5-minute bar. Was trying to hold for